welcome to the first ever podcast on Gamer Shogun Show. This is Shogun Talk. My name's Vandalus.
And I am Tech Ninja's Static Brick or whatever.
We'll fix that later. But anyway, this is the first podcast, so yay.
So let's get started. There's a lot of new things coming out right now. We've got, Star Wars Battlefront DLC. We've got Star Wars the movie coming out, but everyone knows about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what no one has a lot of info on.
Us.
Okay, I was gonna go with something else. Sure, we'll go with that.
All right, yeah, but we'll get to that. But first, since it's the first podcast, and I'm assuming everybody doesn't know about us, let's just talk about us a little bit. So I'm 23 years old. I don't know. What should I...
You're very artistic by comparison.
Yeah, so that's how this works. I'm the artistic one. Tech Ninja here is the obviously technical one, and that's how this works out. It works out best because I understand things more from a design point of view,
And I'm the guy who has all the tech specs everywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, I sit here with 3 screens and a Surface.
Yeah.
I've got more tablets somewhere.
It's a little ridiculous. It's wires and everything everywhere. Just screens. Anyway, I don't know. I'm more of a Nintendo guy. I've been Nintendo all my life. Love me some good old anime. One Piece is my absolute favorite, but I check out others occasionally.
And I am more in the other consoles like Microsoft, Xbox, the PlayStation when I do get one around. I have one somewhere.
You have a PS Vita.
I also have a PS3 buried under my stuff.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that thing.
Yeah, I forget about it too.
We're both on Steam.
And yeah, I'm very much on Steam. 300 plus hours in Space Engineers. If that's to live up to anything.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's us. We'll do more like back and forth Q&A later in this. But so the structure of this is basically we're gonna do this for about an hour and a half. Obviously not the first episode. And then it's gonna be like intro, how's our video game anime lives been going. And then move on to the main topic, and then do like subtopics that just kind of like pop up on our radar real quick, and then like Q&A or like top 10 best worst, top 5 best worst, something or whatever, or
some of the greatest off brands on Reddit that I've seen.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about Reddit too. I can get enough for Reddit. You on the other hand,
I'm on Reddit all day when I'm at work, when I'm at home. I mean, that's how I found Glorious Star-Lord from God. Star Wars.
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit with Darth Sirius, the Emperor. Anyway. Oh, God. But yeah, okay. So that's that. That's the way it's going to be structured. Hopefully when we get fans,
we make it big.
Yeah, we make it big. We'll have some fan-related questions, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, let's move on to the main topic. The main topic for this episode:
2 new Nintendo NX patents. One dealing with the console, one with the controller for the console.
Yeah, so if you are not in the know, live under a rock, whatever, the NX is the newest Nintendo system that's going to be coming out literally next year. It still boggles my mind that the Wii U has, 2 years?
No, it's been out about a year before the Xbox One, PS4.
So 3-year lifespan?
Yeah, it's the shortest lived console to date. Well, maybe not to date, but it's the shortest Nintendo lived console that's an actual home platform. The Virtual Boy does not count.
Yeah, the Virtual Boy was supposed to be was the predecessor to the Game Boy. It was supposed to be like...
More like the predecessor to the 3DS.
Yes.
Just really distant.
Yeah, yes and no.
Pausing.
Well, okay, we're back. That was a little
sidestep there.
Yeah, okay. So what I was saying is, we were talking about the Virtual Boy real quick. I mean, yes, it was kind of like the predecessor to the 3DS, but that was before they knew they were going to be making the first DS.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying the type of technology they're going for, the whole 3D. The game has a background feel and a foreground to it. That was the first of its kind and the last of its kind at that time period.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah, even watching the videos of the Virtual Boy, it's so hard to watch because of just the red and black.
I always thought green and black command prompts were painful. That was just my eyes bleed from the pain.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But anyway, yeah, Virtual Boy doesn't count. The Wii U, shortest lifespan of any console. It's surprising. It's even more surprising because it's not even the end of the Wii U. By Nintendo standards, they want it to exist along with the 3DS and the NX, whatever the NX is going to be called when it comes out. So that's literally 3 things Nintendo-wise if you don't count mobile, which as of right now I'm not counting mobile because nothing's really out except for like Pokemon Shuffle.
Yeah, so with NX, it's going to be premiered at E3 2016, and so far there have been a few hardware speculations on it, basically trying to keep it up to date with the other next gens, or current gens now, who won't call it next gen just because easier, but have a higher end graphics card, better processing power, give you that full 1080p on every single game. But that's where this first patent that we're going to talk about comes up, where it kind of makes me wonder on that. So the patent application, it came out, it was put in May 28th, 2014, and was approved back December 3rd this year. What the patent does, what it talks about, is providing a supplemental computing device for the NX. So if you followed Microsoft in the last few years, what they've talked about recently for this whole cloud gaming is your Xbox does process the game, but it sends some of the data over the internet to their Azure platform, which is their cloud computing stuff, and it will process some of the game and send the data back to you, so your hardware doesn't have to do all that work. It's great for online users. It's a cool idea. It's still kind of rough around the edges in terms of the details behind it. They haven't talked about a whole lot, but the game that's really going to be using will be Crackdown 3 for those of you who do have an Xbox One. But what Nintendo is offering, or what they've patented at least, is having a device that you have with your console. So you have your NX, then you have a box that provides more power.
Which is odd.
Very odd, because if you have to power your device, give it more power in that sense, does that mean the console is being undercut again? Like the Wii was, where it had a good idea with motion gaming, but they wanted it so small they had to cut the power for it. So you didn't have a really good graphics card. The processor was a lot underclocked because it couldn't be that warm. So many different things can go against the console if you have to add supplemental devices for it.
Yeah, it's an odd thing because the way the patent looks, it's like it has like a big rectangle that says game console. Then it has a line which I'm assuming indicates a wire, and then a smaller box that says local supplemental computing device. The local, is that like extra power? Do you think? I feel like Nintendo being so like forward now with like cloud-based stuff, the biggest thing being Pokemon Bank for them. Mm-hmm. It's like it makes sense for them to use a cloud-based system to help, take some of the edge off of the console. But for you to have a extra device connected to your NX, my thing is it bundled with it, or is this just like an idea that will eventually be like the computing device will be put into the NX? Because I mean, I don't see why they would do that. It's so weird.
Well, I mean, with the name being local, if you ever started networking stuff, local networks, it's everything that's nearby. You can easily connect to it. You can go find the device. And in the patent description of the device, it has processor or processors, meaning it might have more than one than just the internal CPU for basic stuff, memory, and a network interface. The patent also mentions that it has a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connection as well. So that means if it's going to be Bluetooth, 30-meter limit, or whatever that translates to feet, not very far basically. It's kind of like your phone, a Bluetooth headset. You can't walk, down the street with it and hope to be connected. And with Wi-Fi, so just somewhere in the house. That's nice if you just don't have the room. You might have a space where all your extra hardware goes. But for some people, that may not be an option if they don't have Wi-Fi at home. But if it has Bluetooth, that means the NX has Bluetooth, which is kind of an interesting thing because the last time a console had Bluetooth, no one talked about it and no one used it.
What was that, the Microsoft Glass?
No, the actual Xbox 360 had a Bluetooth headset adapter you get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but no one knew about it. Or people who knew about it was like, oh, cool, headset. Oh, no one uses this.
Okay, weird. Again, it's just a weird thing. It's like, why not just put it in the game console? I don't understand. Nintendo's thing with their game consoles, every single one of them, they've been small.
Yeah, very small.
They've been small, and I kind of get that. You're trying to make it small enough so that it fits in your like home entertainment system. But when you're marketing your new system as game-changing and nothing like the Wii U or the Wii, and it's going to be rivaling the Xbox One and the PS4, this kind of thing makes it seem as though
it can't.
Exactly. It's as if the game console can't truly be this revolutionary idea without the supplemental computing device. You need it. And so that's why it's like, is it bundled with it? Do you think they would bundle like this extra thing? Because the Wii U doesn't have a lot of space in it.
Yeah.
And one of the things is like you can get like a hard drive for it, which I'm probably gonna have to get now for Xenoblade Chronicles X. We'll talk about that later. But it's like the Wii U doesn't have like a lot of space, and it's like you gotta get like another hard drive if you want to put like heavy stuff on there.
Yeah, and I mean the Xbox One had a similar problem with the hard drive space. Early release 500 gigs. I ran out of space quickly, so I got a terabyte. That's great. But in terms of having an extra device, I mean, everyone knows, or I hope everyone knows, that the Xbox One is a VCR of a device. It is huge. And if you are young enough to not know what a VCR is, well, talk to your parents something. It's really big, really bulky. It just was not the thin, slim devices that we're used to now. But even then, the Xbox One still has that power to it. But if the NX is, Nintendo's doing their whole, we gotta keep it small, gotta keep it compact. If you're gonna sell a supplemental device to go with it, and again, right now it's rumored that there's no rumor actually, but it could be sold with it, it could be sold as an accessory. So that means you have to constantly add on to it, or maybe not constantly, but still, that whole adding on to your device defeats the purpose.
Yeah, this is a patent. It's not a rumor. It's just a patent, and it's just unclear. And that, I guess that's what you said is with most patents. It's kind of unclear, like what the actual goal is, the actual final product. It's
a conceptual device, right? It's conceptual, so it's definitely not. This is what's going to be.
Yeah, making that clear. This is not exactly what it is. This is just. It's more speculation because it's just odd the way they're
marketing. Referring to it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, with it having that Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capability, most devices now with Wi-Fi, you can have multiple items connected via that way. So if this is supposed to make your console better, would that mean, say, player A has the money to buy the console, and if it's not shipped with it, then so you have the bare bones system, they're playing their game, hey, I'm getting some frame rate issues. You get a gamer B here who has money just pouring out of his ears, and they'll buy the NX, like, oh, this isn't running that well. Buys a supplemental device. Oh, I did, another 2 of them. Well, now he has 3 supplemental devices to his NX, and he's just gaming out. He's just powering through everything.
And that's the other thing. Like, why would it say multiple computing device? That is what is troubling right now. Beyond the other thing that we're going to talk about. Excuse me. But it's just like, multiple? I understand with something like the recent Steam machines, where you can build on those. You can build on those, right?
Well,
for the most part,
not really, because they're pretty much the console PC. Basically, you get what you're shipped, and if you want more, you have to buy another one. So that's why most people, when the Steam machine came, was like, "I'll just build a PC."
Yeah. Okay. And there we go. Build a PC. I feel like that's. Isn't that what it feels like the NX is like weirdly doing? It's like trying to be a home PC, which sounds like a desktop at that point.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm in the room we're in right now. I have the case on my desktop. I'm getting the parts slowly, but if I'm going to build this to my personal specs, and you're supposed to be selling me a console, the whole concept of the gaming console was that, hey, you can play a game, just any game out of the box. Don't have to worry about hardware requirements. Don't have to worry about software requirements. It just works.
Yeah.
And that's a problem that's been coming up recently with the consoles, that it's not that case anymore.
Yeah.
But just back to Nintendo, if you're going to sell me a console, sell me something that can play all your games out the box. Yeah. I don't want to be sold something that, okay, we can't play that game from, say, Square Enix. Like, I'll use Just Cause 3 because that is a game that I really do like. But I'm having some problems on my current rig where it stutters. If you told me that this game will run on my console, I play it. And then it's like, oh, well, to play it better, you need this device to attach to your console. Now I'm just kind of wondering, so did you undersell me a product, or did you undersell your own product? Did you not power it the way you should have?
It seems like money grabbing at that point.
Yeah, it's
and
starting to...
Nintendo's never been money grabby like that. Like in recent years, people can be like, oh, well, DLC. That's just Nintendo being smart at this point. Like, they have never really done DLC. It's always been like, no, we'd never do that. We're just going to sell you the actual product. But the biggest example right now is Smash Brothers, especially with the biggest thing that came out with Cloud being in it. It's like they're being smart now. And Nintendo needs to be smart now. And this isn't smart, whatever this is. And here's another thing I just thought about, and it's kind of drifting away. Going back to when it was first introduced and talked about, people were like, oh, it's going to have like the home console, and then there's going to be the thing that replaces the 3DS, where it's like the mobile version of the NX. Would that be the mobile version of the NX?
Oh, well, if it was a mobile version, it would probably have been worded differently, because it's a supplemental computing device.
Yeah.
Which means it's providing additional power. If it was a remote handheld device, then that'd be more like the Vita or something like that. But looking at this patent again, there's also a note of remote supplemental computing, and from user community. So that could also mean that while Gamer B has all these, supplemental devices, Gamer A, as long as he's online, can get that power from him, which in a way is good.
Yeah.
But it feels like they're trying to turn this into the DLC of hardware, where, hey, we've got the hardware, the base hardware, but we've got extra hardware you can attach to it to make it better. And it's kind of what it looks like right now. But again, we still have a good year. Well, yeah, got about a year before it comes out.
Yeah.
And we got 6 months till actual announcement.
It's one of those things where you hear about the NX and you're like, oh, it's gonna be awesome, and like Final Fantasy games are gonna be on it again, and Dragon Quest, and like, oh, the possibilities are endless at this point. And then you see something like this, or you hear about something like this in the next thing, and you're like, oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, looking at some of the article we're looking at is from extremetech.com, and there's a note they mentioned about Nintendo's hardware. And they're talking about how the Wii used GPU and CPU stuff. The Wii used GPU, the graphics processing unit, for those of you who don't know, like the graphics card, video card, something like that. It's gotten better. It definitely has gotten better. But the person who wrote this article compared the CPU, that central processing unit, compared it to what's known as the Power PC, which came out back with a GameCube, which is a little backdated because this is from 2000. We're 15 years past that. If you sold me a computer and said, and I know Nintendo didn't, go out and say, hey, this has the same processor as the GameCube, no one would have brought the thing. Or they would have just for nostalgia, but an actual gamer or tech person like me, I would have laughed at you and just said no. But hopefully they'll pick up with AMD or Intel and get a better CPU and GPU stuff to improve that, but that is a little disturbing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Nah, wow, okay. I mean, the Wii U's not terrible. And some games, like, once again, Xenoblade Chronicles X, it looks gorgeous. Like, the Wii U can handle it. And that's the thing that, a lot of people are concerned about with the NX, is the NX going to be able to handle heavy-hitting games like whatever this new Final Fantasy is. And judging from, all the stuff you hear, I don't know what the current specs are on it right now, but judging on that, yeah, it should. And it should do it with the computing device inside the machine. I don't understand why it has to be outside unless they're bundling with it. And if they bundle it with it, I swear, if I have to pay more money to have something so that my games run at how they should run initially, I'm going to be a little upset.
Yeah, it's kind of sound like the Xbox with the Xbox One, the Kinect thing. The Xbox One with Kinect, it's $500. Without it, it's $400. Wait a minute, the Kinect sells at $150. This is where I'm kind of worried this is going to go.
Yeah, and not to mention the Xbox actually works better without the Kinect on it, right?
Yeah, the whole Xbox record this, Xbox do that, it's a little touchy. So, anyway, moving on to their next patent was their controller. And this is a fun one for me.
I hate this. I'm going to say it right now. I hate this a lot. Mostly because of, one, how ugly it looks. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
So, to give you an idea, and with the video itself, we'll have a little image of what the proposed, what it looked like in the actual patent image and the artist rendition. So take the Wii U controller. You got your screen in the middle, you got your buttons and your thumbsticks. Now take that screen and make it fill the controller.
That's the second thing I hate about this. I don't know why that they are making the controller like the Wii U gamepad. I will say right now, there are some times when the gamepad works well, and I like it. It works well for the game that it's doing it on.
Especially party games.
But with a game like, let's say, for example, Mario Kart, I don't need a gamepad.
Yeah, it was a bit out of place.
It's a bit strange. It's like, I don't even look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty much playing the game on the local screen. It's nice when someone else is using the TV. Then hey, I can play without the TV. But other games like Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I don't use the gamepad anymore when I play Smash. I use the GameCube adapter and I use a GameCube controller because the GameCube controller is the best thing, and they should have just made a much better GameCube controller instead of this abomination.
And so the other thing about this controller is the idea of virtual buttons.
Ugh.
If you've ever tried playing like a Nintendo Game Boy Advance ROM on your phone,
it's hard.
It's hard, especially when you have to do any type of button movement, like
when you're trying to do diagonals.
It's
very hard.
You have that sensitive area of, is it in the thumbstick? No, it's actually outside of it. Okay, I need to find that sweet spot.
It's unclear.
And so to make this really bad, and I'm just gonna look at this a little bit more.
So from this image right here, is the top one gonna be like? Is this just like Conception 1, Conception 2?
That's what it looks like. It looks like there's a possibility of it either being full physical buttons that will always be there. Your D-pad, your XBAY, your joysticks, your bumpers, and they will always be there, but there's a screen behind it, which, honestly, if you're going to put a screen there, that's a terrible design.
That's the thing.
So hopefully it won't actually encompass all of it, because physically that just wouldn't work, because I don't want a screen with holes in it.
Yeah, it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. The way it looks, it's like, one, the controller
is too wide.
It's too wide. It's ugly.
Again, artist rendition.
Sorry, I know. It's one of those things that it upsets me so much just to look at it. The way it's like the handles are too wide apart, and so it's like, yeah, you can get to the XBAY and the right pretty easily, and you can get to the D-pad
and your left stick.
And the left stick pretty easily. But if you see there are the three menus. You got the minus and the plus and the home. That's a pain because it's too far away for your thumbs. Especially the home button. The home button is like right in the center, and it's just not. You can't reach that, judging by what this looks like.
Yeah, and
the bumpers don't look good either.
Well, the bumpers probably won't be too big of a deal because device is going to be a little deeper. But at the same time, it could be a bad thing if the screen's too thick. The other problem I'm seeing is with it being a screen in all of the controller. You lose almost all that screen when you have your hands on it.
Exactly. So it's actually pointless. Not to mention you'll be smudging the mess out of this when your fingers are all over it and you're touching it, and it's gonna look gross and disgusting, and no one wants that.
And if you're one of those who likes just pig out while they're playing games, you probably won't want this controller anyway. The other option was all virtual buttons,
which again is a bad idea. Like we were saying with emulators, it's like it's very vague as to if you're hitting diagonal on the D-pad or if you're doing certain things on the joysticks. Like button pushing's not that difficult. Every now and again when I've played an emulator, by the way, we don't condone emulators. We just, too poor to actually go on eBay and buy these things. But it's like sometimes it works, and then sometimes you're like, I'm pretty sure I hit the A button. Why am I not talking to this person, or why am I not doing this attack?
And then the other thing that it actually does mention is transparent physical buttons through the screen with game-specific virtual buttons.
So are they going to do something like the Steam controller with their weird, like, like their weird
Nipple
subwoofer. There's wow, not where I was going at all. I was thinking more like subwoofer, like trackpads.
Well, the thing with the Steam controller, I felt like someone just flipped an Xbox controller over and But what it looks like they're talking about is you will have some of the buttons will be there. So more than likely your analog sticks will probably be the physical buttons, but they'll be clear or some way you can see the screen behind it.
So glass?
Still Either way, it's pointless. Your fingers are on top of it. You can't see through that.
That's the whole thing. Your hands are on the control. See, the gamepad doesn't have this problem. Because at least with the gamepad, your hands are sitting mostly behind the thing.
And they're away from it, not like your hand on top.
Yeah, you're not like on the screen. With this, your hands are literally going to be like up on the screen, especially your thumbs and when you're moving your hands over to hit like buttons and stuff. You're not going to see whatever is going to be going on the bottom screen. Again, and I don't like the fact, and especially hate the fact that he used Mario Kart. Because like we just said, no one's looking at the gamepad when they're playing Mario Kart by themselves. They're not looking at it when they're playing with friends. You're looking at the screen.
And then the other thing I noticed is the virtual buttons with specific virtual buttons. So I could see that being actually really pointless still because it's controller mapping. I don't really want it to say... It's kind of like with Pokemon on the 3DS, on the DS and 3DS when they came out. The buttons that were needed would show up with that icon. But if you're telling me that we're going to have virtual buttons for your games, so does that mean when I don't need to use the A button, it's just gone? Because like when I play Fallout, I just like to spam the A button when I'm walking around. It helps me find things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. This whole... Like, I don't blame the artist who did this because he was trying to like make heads or tails of it. Like, that's fine. But then you look at the patent and like none of this is on here. Like, no virtual buttons, no actual buttons. It's just like a screen with some
walking man.
Yeah, in a forest, and that one doesn't look right at all. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. But anyway, just beyond that, it doesn't look good. Again, it's like you're just looking at it like this.
The actual patent image.
Yeah, it's the actual patent image. Yeah, but it's like already you can see where your thumbs are taking out 2/3 of the screen.
Yeah, and honestly, with it being so wide, I found the gamepad a little uncomfortable because I'm used to having my hands in a certain location and I can remember button mappings that way. It just felt too wide, and this feels that same. It's too wide for a controller type feel. So again, this is all preliminary. This is all patent stuff. It's what they're working on, but this is where they go with the NX. I feel that this will be the death of Nintendo's home console system.
I won't say death. I will just say that it's going to be one of those things where people are going to buy it and they're going to be like, all right, where's my Pro Controller? Where's my Pro Controller works for the NX? And if they don't, and if Nintendo does not have a sort of supplementary, like, oh, you don't want to use the actual thing? Here's a Pro Controller for the NX. If they don't have that, a lot of people are not going to be buying this.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I said this will be the death of it, because the Wii U just didn't sell well. It wasn't a bad console or anything. It just did not have the sales drive behind it that they needed. It didn't get that gamer... Nintendo fans brought it, but a lot of people I know that play games are either on PC, they're on the Xbox One, they're on the PS4, because they have the games they want. They market the games they want on these consoles, and third-party developers like EA, Activision, they just didn't want to be bothered with the secondary screen system.
My thing is, the secondary screen system has been around for a long time now with the DS. And the thing that I always say is, Nintendo would have been smart if they had gotten 3DS developers to take on these heavy games. Granted, they probably aren't used to doing something like that, but you have someone who has experience with working with two screens and making it work.
Yeah, but the thing is, with EA and all of them, they just couldn't get their attention with it. And with the games that came out with the Wii U, like Batman Arkham City and Mass Effect 3, they're just remakes of already out games.
Yeah. And
they just really didn't work all that better on the second screen.
Kind of the whole thing with that, it was like, with Batman Arkham City, because I did get it on that, it was like, oh, the new feature is these shock gauntlets that Batman has. Yay, I don't know. I didn't play the Mass Effect one, but our good friend Unknown Music, he did, and he said, the map system, you could actually tell people to do stuff on the stylus, and that's neat. But again, not a really big game-changing mechanic. You could already kind of do that. It's just with the stylus, you're probably a little bit more
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't a huge add-on to the game. And so with this new Nintendo patent for this controller, it looks like it doesn't even have touchscreen support. Well, it would for the virtual buttons, but that's about it. So it would be it wouldn't even be a second screen anymore. It'd just be a replicated screen what's already out there.
Which is...
go ahead.
I mean, we're about the same thing.
Yeah,
it's pointless.
Pointless, and does what they're doing now. So.
Yeah, it's no point. It's like with the conception image, obviously they don't know, but it's just like it's Mario Kart, but on this weird screen that your hands are covering.
And it's an oval, which who would?
I'm not. The shape isn't even the problem. It's just. It's everything about it. That's the problem.
Yeah. So with these being like the two newest patents that have come out in the last few months, and it's one of those things of come June we'll definitely know more, but hopefully this is not.
I don't even want come June. I want like a month, 2 months before June, and they're like, give us at least a preview of what the NX, and then E3 they're like, the NX, and it's like all this amazing, like, oh, look at all these games, and oh, it's so awesome. I hope it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, because if they do what Microsoft did when it first launched, smart glass, like shut up about smart glass.
Oh God, there was so much more wrong with the Xbox One. We're not getting into that right now. But...
Yeah, that was a debate for two or 3 years ago.
Oh, all right. That's the NX though. That's what I'd say about that. So subtopics. Let's talk about just stuff that's come out recently, news wise or whatever. I guess just to get this out the way, the big, not so big news is Minecraft's on the Wii U soon, this week, the 15th.
Yeah, so...
Or 16th, I can't remember.
Microsoft has allowed Nintendo to get the Wii U to get Minecraft, which, for those of you who only play Nintendo games, that's great news.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us who have it on any other console, it's irrelevant, but
I'm still
nice
buying
to hear it. Yeah.
I'm buying it because... When I first bought the Wii U, and you know this, when I first bought the Wii U, one of the first games that came to mind where I was like, would benefit from having the bottom screen, Minecraft. Because in that way, you're on the bottom screen, and instead of, in Minecraft, if you don't know, you usually have to like right-click on things to go into different menus, to like build stuff, put stuff in a furnace, go through your inventory, equip armor, all that stuff. This now has the accessibility of having the bottom screen doing all of that. I'm assuming it works in the way you walk up to a crafting table and the menu down at the bottom. It's like no longer the inventory, but it becomes like the crafting table.
Right.
And you can do stuff there. You can pull stuff directly out of your bag and put it on. I'm hoping. Anyway, the thing about this and like why it's not so big is because. This is the half of it, not so big news of it, is that it's just like, this should have been like something when Mojang still had control, or what's his name, Notch still had control of it.
Yeah, with it being so late in the console's lifespan, because again, with this being the shortest lived console, whatever, but with this being the shortest lived console, it's one of those last hurrah things that came so late, it's not helping. It's kind of like with, well, like if the Xbox 360 said, we've got, all the new Star Wars games, but it's kind of pointless now because everyone's moved on.
Everyone's migrated to the Xbox One, especially with them having like, playback now?
Yeah, the backwards compatibility is coming out for the Xbox One, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some things I'm not fond of, but
Yeah. The other half of this is that it's big news, is that Minecraft is owned by Microsoft. And this is like... open the Nintendo floodgates of all the fans. It's like, Banjo-Kazooie could be in Smash now. And it's like, well, we don't know yet. That'll literally be Tuesday. It's going to be the last, like, announcement for Smash, which is another big thing. Tuesday is not, I think Minecraft comes out on the 16th. I'm not entirely sure. It might be Tuesday. But beyond that, Tuesday is going to be the final... just the end of all end-alls for Smash content. Sakurai himself has stated in an interview that whatever they show off now is going to be the last of the DLC. So, sad, yes, I know, but they have been working on this game since it's been released for like over a year now. We got to get the chains off of poor Sakurai and let him go home and see his wife and kids and just let the man live his life. But Tuesday is going to be huge, just for the simple fact that more than likely Cloud will also be coming out on that day. Mm-hmm. And anything in the Midgard Sage, they both look awesome in my opinion. But this has also opened up the speculation since Microsoft has given Nintendo the permission to have Minecraft, and the CEO has said, "Oh, I think Banjo-Kazooie would be awesome in Smash. Hit us up, Nintendo. We've had good stuff happen to us in the past." Just as a little quick side note, who do you think would be it? People have like data mined it to where it's like it looks like 3 or 4 more characters will get put in. I'm assuming that with Cloud being in the game, he'll be like number 4 in that, so technically 3 characters left. So real quick, who do you think would be those 3 characters?
Well, since I haven't really been following up on that as much, I can't really give a very good answer.
Well, who would you like?
Well, for me, it's almost irrelevant because I really haven't played the game in a while. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they do put a Banjo-Kazooie character in there.
I mean, it would be Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a Banjo-Kazooie character. Be the character that the game's named after.
I know a lot of people have been wanting, I think, King K. Rool.
K. Rool.
Or, personally, I think it'd be kind of funny if they did put the Ice Climbers back in there for the game.
Well, the thing is, they can't. Sakurai himself has, like, said, we can't do it because it wouldn't, like,
Yeah, I know the 3DS wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, the 3DS wouldn't be able to handle it. Wouldn't be able to handle it, and he doesn't want to put something out on one of the systems, and the other system doesn't have it. But it would be funny if they did it just like a single Ice Climber. It's like, what happened to the other one? Like, oh, I don't talk about that.
Climbing accident.
My predictions are probably a little bit more off the wall. I do think that K. Rool does have a good chance. Whenever I would look up like polls and stuff, like fan polls, he was like always like number 1 or number 2. He was like always in the top 3. The other characters I've seen, which I love the game and I love the character from the game. Shovel Knight, he's perfect. Like, if an indie character were to get his shine in Smash, it would be Shovel Knight. And then, just as a simple, like, oh, I would love it if this character was in there, give us more Square Enix characters, Neku from The World Ends With You. You have no idea what that is, do you?
No, I really...
Well, oh my god.
I think I've seen it, but I can't remember right now.
It's fantastic.
Only thing is, if I had to pick a Square Enix character, it'd either be Rico from Just Cause, and he wouldn't have to blow anybody up. I mean, that is the Just Cause way, but just grapple everybody to the wall.
Oh god.
Or maybe even Alec from JSX, where, you know, he didn't ask for this, but he's there.
I didn't ask for this. That sounds like Snake. Boss. Oh god. Yeah, it's just I would think that Neku would be cool. He has a lot of cool like attacks under his belt. If you never played The World Ends With You, it's a DS game. It's by far one of Square Enix's best and like not appreciated at all. It's such a cult following on that game, and I love it. Ugh, makes me upset. But anyway, what else has been happening recently?
There's been interesting news with a new Japanese game for, I believe, the PlayStation. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna try to pronounce that.
Okay, so we're back. So the name of the game is Valkyrie Drive. Okay, it's a Japanese name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's alright. So it's a Vita game that came out a few days ago in Japan. The channel for it on YouTube was banned. The reason being was that the game itself is very... It's almost porn.
I've been tempted to want to watch this anime, and I cannot get behind it. So the whole thing about this anime is the main character. There's 2 main characters. One of them is an older woman, and the other is a younger girl. And it's like weirdly sexual based. It's like the older blonde, like, I don't know. She turns the young girl into like a weapon by like making out with her or something. It's weird. Like I said, I haven't watched it. It's been on my like list of like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch this, but I'll just keep it on my radar.
And you know Japan, everything goes weird.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where like I saw a clip of like one of the things. It's like, oh, 2 girls with huge boobs kissing on the ground. Oh, 2 girls with huge boobs kissing standing up. Great, whatever. It's weird. It's Japan. They live on an island. You have to excuse them. But yeah, I mean, you know, this GIF we're watching right now looks cool, combat-wise, looks pretty awesome. But I mean, it's not out of the norm the way the game looks. Anyway, it's not out of the norm of a normal
hack and
JRPG game or whatever it is.
Hack and slash type game. But the title apparently Google translates it to aggressive tits hyper battle, which. There you go. There's no other words that need to be spoken.
Why are they aggressive though? It's like, I don't understand.
Yeah, so...
Are they just mad? Here's another one. Yep. That's what I expected. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Japan, tits and explosions, sure, whatever.
I don't know. It's like, I remember in like, what is it? That crossover game. I can't remember what it's called. But like,
J-List All-Stars?
No. On the Nintendo DS. I forget what it's called. You know what I'm talking about, peoples. But it's like one of the characters. It's like one of her ultimate attacks is like removing like chest guard or something. It's like what? It's anime. It's whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, all right, next topic is this weird Who's Your Daddy video game that I have not seen, but Tech Ninja's going to explain it for me.
So the game is a little weird. Okay, it's very weird. Let's just start off with that. So aside from the models looking like they have bug eye problems and everything is amazing surprise, and the fact that it's currently in pre-alpha, so there's a whole lot of things that are not going to work properly. It's the game itself is a bit of a joke. So the point of the game is that the baby is trying to kill itself, and it can do that in a variety of ways. It can smash a glass table with a hammer and eat the glass shards. It can eat some batteries, drink some chemicals, put itself in the oven and turn it on.
How does it have psycho powers?
No,
is it a psychic baby?
No, you just have to like get the right angle and hope the father accidentally kicks the door closed.
Okay.
You can put a fork in the outlet. So the father.
Who do you play as?
You can play as the baby or the father. It's a multiplayer game.
Okay.
So if you play as the father, your goal is to not let the baby kill itself.
What?
And if the baby does kill itself, the baby wins.
Oh, so it's the dad. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a very weird game.
Don't you think this would be controversial?
You would think if it wasn't for the fact that when the dad crouches, his legs, they don't bend. His torso just sinks through his legs. So he has his legs up his chest.
Oh, God. Is this like a early access Steam game?
Yeah, it's in that pre-alpha state. It's not even like... God. It's really...
the models look awful.
Very bad. But, it's definitely being played.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But, anyway, you were saying?
But, yeah, so if you ever heard of, like, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, I think Markiplier's played it. But,
I don't think he's played it yet.
Probably not Markiplier, but, I know Critical, who else goes as Penguin Zero on YouTube, they have played it. I'll put the links in the description. It is a very weird game. Those faces.
They're ugly.
I mean, the babies in particular.
Yeah, the babies is just like, I don't even know.
They gave it such defined lips.
Yeah.
With these bulging eyes.
And like no nose feature. It's like
It's a bump.
It's a bump.
At least the father has a well-defined face.
He's got like a...
But he's bored.
Yeah, he's like, okay, the baby's trying to kill himself again. Whatever. So, I just read something on here, and it said that Steam greenlit it. And we're going to leave this alone now. This is just weird. We get it now. So, here's the last thing I want to talk about. And it's been a bit of a point of contention. Last thing, subtopic I want to talk about. It's been a bit of a contention with a lot of gamers recently. And that's the fact that Steam kind of just lets anything go nowadays.
And they really do. It's a community decision as whether or not a game gets greenlit.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go...
Have you seen some of the stuff that gets greenlit, though?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah, I don't It's like, some stuff you're like, okay, cool, that got greenlit. I've been watching this project for a while. And then you look through some of the stuff that gets greenlit, and it's like that's not even a game. It's like it's not a game.
So I'm just pulling up the the Steam Greenlight thing. So there are a few things up here that look.
Oh, look, a Minecraft ripoff. That's not new.
Okay, those are all over the place. We've got Will Fail, which needs to reach 3 goals. What?
Goats. You need to reach 3 goats.
Okay. Yeah, this game looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks terrible. It's like. So Steam also does a thing where it gives people game creating software, and that's fine. It really is. What is that? Is that a crab bouncing a soccer? It is. Krabby Ball. Okay, that's not too terrible given what it is. It's a physics-based game. That's fine. Whatever. We'll let that one go. The game maggot. What is that? What is that? Is that a game?
I think
it's a game about video game journalism. Oh God.
Yeah. So basically.
Oh.
What?
Sorry for whoever made this, but ugh.
Yeah. So.
Please get off of this.
Yeah. With these games, because it's so easy to download game making software, we've got RPG Maker. I can't even think of all of them right now. But Unity especially.
Yeah.
Unity, it's so cheap to just get a game made with that. You can use these pre-made models. And one of my favorite YouTubers, NerdCube, he's made a huge point about this because there are some games that come out where he went to the Unity model store and just found all the models. They weren't altered, they weren't changed. It was a straight model, ported over to this game, and they're just crap.
The thing is, it's like, here's the thing. The Greenlit is great for a lot of projects, especially projects that are not on people's radar.
Yeah.
And it's only the Steam community that sees it. But the problem with that is they need to have a more, I don't want to say like stricter, but they definitely need to implement some rules as to what needs to get greenlit and what doesn't. Like
there was a game called Grass Simulator. You simulated grass.
That's not fun.
That's not even a thing you do.
Yeah, you can't simulate grass. Stimulate grass.
I think
Stimulate. It was like... You can't simulate grass. You don't want to do the other thing either. That doesn't sound right.
But there's nothing you could do in the game. Like you could become different types of grass, and yes, you're playing as the grass, by the way. So
you play as the grass?
Yeah,
Are you growing?
I think.
What are you, a chia pet? Chia pet simulator? Is that going to be a thing now? It probably is now that I've said it.
I mean, the simulator games are just amazingly.
Yeah, there are pretty terrible simulator. I'm sorry to anybody who develops those. I really am, but some of those just don't work well. They're just awful. I'm sorry. Like
some are kind of funny, but yeah.
Some are funny, but some are just like I don't even know what this is. Like forklift simulator.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta let the Germans get their forklift.
Oh, come on.
I mean, they got their forklift safety video, so, you gotta go home and play that forklift simulator after a stimulating day of driving a forklift.
I don't. That's gonna be the ultimate, like worst life ever. You have to keep playing. You have to, work on a forklift and go home and play forklift simulator so you can keep getting better at your actual job. I'd hate to live that life. Anyway, let's look at some of these greenlit things, though. Yeah, it's one of those things where
top of the list. Who's your daddy?
Cool.
Those creepy
so
eyes.
looking real quick, some of these things look cool.
They've got base revolver, hero defense,
vaccine war. That looks cool.
Carpe diem. That looks interesting.
It's carpe diem.
I will pronounce that as carpe as long as I live.
The E is silent anyway. But scrolling down, Dinocide. What is that?
I am somehow overlooking this so heavily.
I don't even know. Realms of Oh my god, did you see that arm animation? Okay, never mind. I guess it's in the same... No, never mind. It's not in the same vein of Terraria.
No, this is a hybrid Terraria Minecraft. This looks... His arm is going... What?
I don't understand. Oh god, Bubsy. Just no.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Bubsy is back.
No, please, God, no. There's a good example of what should not get greenlit. What is happening? Iron Snout?
I think I could dig that game, maybe. Alright, so in the background you're going to hear this a bit.
What is happening?
It's
like, if you've ever watched Markiplier play One Punch No.
Oh,
the One Punch stick figure game or whatever.
Yeah, the one.
It's like that, but you play as a pig fighting wolves, and you have not machetes, cleavers.
Cleavers, dog. What?
I'm not behind this at all.
It looks humorous.
It's humorous in a bad way. What is anus? No, it's anise. I can't even say it. They put an I next to the S in science. It's like A and I science.
Animal science is basically what it would be.
Anascience. Got it. Okay.
Anus.
Sorry. Okay, this doesn't look bad. It looks like a. It looks like a pot. It looks like one of those like
It looks like a tablet port.
It looks like a book.
No, it's a tablet port. This is a mobile game ported.
Oh, well, that's not bad. I mean, I've seen that.
That's also a problem is when these tablet games.
Yeah, I will say it is a bit of a problem. It's like really.
Now let's look at back on page 192. Let's see what was.
Jeez. Oh, okay. Mutant Mudds. That's a great game.
Yeah, there are games that definitely.
Oregon Trail, not Oregon. Oregon, like your heart or your lungs. That's a great game.
And it's not that all the games that come to Greenlight are bad.
No, they're not. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, it looks like some people just didn't try, and they're just putting these things out there, and there's an oversaturation of the market, especially with sandbox games.
Yeah, so
I kind of want to save that for another episode, but I guess we can talk about it now.
And we can do it quicker. I play Space Engineers a bit, hence the whole nearly 400 hours thing.
Yeah.
But since Space Engineers, there's been a couple of different clones. You got Planet Nomads, which comes out next year, but it looks decent. You got Empyrean, then with the Minecraft clones. There's so many Minecraft clones, it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's
Guncraft. That's a thing.
And some
Animal Craft.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
And people say like Terraria is a Minecraft clone, but
Terraria's not a Minecraft clone. It's
its own game. It definitely made itself stand out.
It's more story based with quotations, air quotations, because it's like Minecraft is like it's very open to what you can do. You can do whatever, and yeah, there are some things you can fight, like the Ender Dragon, or the Wither, or the new underwater boss or whatever.
Yeah, but
Terraria, it's like there's actual like events that happen. There's actual bosses that you have to summon in order to fight them. So it's more not story based or whatever.
There's more to do.
There's more to do.
It gives you more. It gives you something to work towards. Because like Space Engineers, it's still in that early access stage. They just added planets and they added some AI, but overall it's still very.
That's another thing. Early access.
Just showing up, doing whatever.
Yeah. Another one that kind of like expounds upon Terraria that I absolutely love is Starbound. Starbound's a fantastic. It's like it takes Terraria's concept of exploring this world to exploring multiple worlds across the galaxy, and you can actually claim these worlds, like these planets. You can actually like at some point claim, and there's actually like goals for you to do. It's definitely more story based. There's actually like eventually you can have like towns, and you can have like missions, and you can actually get missions from like certain people. It's nuts just how much there is in Starbound, and it's fantastic. It is early access, but it's not early access in the way of they come back like every 6 months. It's like it's a continual process with Starbound, and it's like I think recently I read that they added hover bikes, and which is fantastic. Because walking takes a while to get anywhere from point A to point B, especially when point B is obscure and you have no idea what point B actually is. But I'm rambling about Starbound. I love that. Not Starbomb. Starbomb's awesome.
Different topic for a different day.
Yes. But yeah, it's especially sandbox survival games. Those are definitely. It's like. I feel like Minecraft kind of like gave people the freedom to be like, oh, I can, if it's just blocks.
Yeah, Minecraft was kind of the start of the whole arcadey, do whatever you want type game mode, and it definitely took off. I mean, some games evolved a lot farther from that. Like Minecraft was all square everything. Mm-hmm. There are a few games trying to make all triangles that didn't really pan out.
What?
Yeah,
that was a thing.
It was a very short-lived thing. Like, it was maybe a year after Minecraft really started being big, and it just appeared and disappeared.
I never even saw that.
Yeah.
How would you make everything out of triangles?
It'd be similar to
It would still be blocks.
Yeah, it would ultimately form a block.
Defeating the purpose of it being triangles.
Yeah,
anyway.
But then some games like Space Engineers, they gave you a lot more to do in the sense of you can go out, you're in space, you fly around.
Yeah.
But it's definitely oversaturated now. I'm looking forward to the day where first-person shooters and
zombie.
Oh god, the zombies! When that becomes like a small like, hey, a new zombie game came out. Well, it hasn't been one of those in like 5 years. That would be a nice time.
Yeah.
But now it's like, hey, a new zombie game came out. Okay, let's look at it.
There's so many people that just make these games, and power to them to do that. We're not developing games yet, but it's not an easy task. You hear about what these people have to go through on a regular basis, and like there's so many problems that can happen. There's so many things that you have to fix to make everything work properly and coherently and make it aesthetically pleasing to the eye, so it's like not all just garbage together for the most part. So like I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't try and get your game greenlit. What I'm saying is,
if you're gonna make a proof of concept game, make it something that's unique. Like, I will say this: Who's Your Daddy is a unique game.
It is unique.
It's weird, but it's unique.
It's like I Am Bread. Like, who thought I Am Bread would become like this
phenomenon?
Yeah.
Games that they stand out. They give you a new idea for a game. Something that's just not being reproduced over and over. That's something that really needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we're in that point where since everyone can become a game developer, no one's a good game developer anymore.
Yeah, it's like people are like, oh, I can put squares and blocks and stuff, and I can make this weird thingy, and it's like it works, but it doesn't.
It works for a short while,
and then you get bored.
Yeah, like I enjoy Space Engineers, but I can't take it in large amounts anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I just recently got Terraria on the 3DS, and it's like, I spent time doing stuff. Like, I was like, I need to explore and get stuff, and then after a while, I'm like, I'm gonna play something else now.
Yeah.
It's like there's only so much you can take of those games, and when the market is flooded with them, and it's like you have so many options of the same concept, it's like you kind of just get burnt out. Like, as much as I love Minecraft, I really do, I've like in the past I would sit down for like hours and play Minecraft, but like now it's like I've got so much going on now. It's like I'm good with like just getting an hour in of Xenoblade Chronicles X right now, and that game is massive, which I'm going to talk about near the end. But yeah, okay, I guess we can actually move on to that. Third order of business is going to be what we kind of stated earlier, kind of like Q&A. What's going on with, what are we playing that we're absolutely in love with, or if we have like a top 5 or a top 10 of like stuff or whatever. But yeah, let's just talk about like what we're playing and what we're watching right now.
So I'll go ahead and start with that. So because I'm more on my PC more so than my Xbox right now, I've been playing a good number of the new releases: Just Cause, Fallout, Star Wars Battlefront. And if you have some problem with EA, good for you. I don't care. I enjoy Battlefront. I get it. It doesn't have a lot of multiplayer. I mean, it has all multiplayer, very little single player. But this is the one time I'm not going to gripe at EA about it, because with Disney having the rights to Star Wars and a movie coming out literally this week, and I'm going to see it opening night at 11:20 p.m.
Dude, I'm so pumped.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I can understand Disney saying, "Do not release something on this story, or we will come after you." But
Disney is scary, man.
They are quite scary. They own half the multimedia entertainment now.
It's crazy.
But I enjoy it. I don't play it a lot at a time, and that's probably what makes me enjoy it more. Is I'm not sitting there playing it for hours on end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've got some beautiful maps. Just the environment, the atmosphere feels great in the game. I enjoy the fact that when I'm playing and there's a air battle going on above me, I felt like if I jumped up and like, hey, I'm gonna high five this pilot, I got smacked out of the sky. That can happen. Well, maybe not necessarily high fiving them, but getting hit by a TIE fighter would suck.
Yeah, it's not something you want to happen.
Then with Fallout 4,
oh my god,
I've heard a lot of mixed things in that game. part of it was due to what's a problem that's been going on with the AMD versus NVIDIA wars that happen in the background. With the graphics being set more for NVIDIA cards and a lot of issues with that, AMD is trying to get that resolved, but it's just NVIDIA's been giving a lot of money to these companies.
Yeah, it's like, we were both, we both played, and it's like, playing on the laptop is like, you have a pretty powerful laptop.
Yeah, I've got 12 gigs of RAM, an 870M NVIDIA GeForce card with 3 gigs on it. It can handle up to Metal Gear. All the games I played were just perfect. I could play in ultra quality. Then suddenly Fallout came. I was like, nope, medium. Like, oh.
Yeah, like you're just sitting there playing, and then the computer just like, I need a breather, and just like it doesn't close it, but just puts it down in a window.
Yeah, minimize it, tabs out,
pull it back up. And you're like, okay.
And then it'll give me frame rate drops. It'll be playing like, hey, 60 FPS, 42. Ow.
Yeah, not cool.
I like my frames.
Not cool. Can I just say real quick the mods that they've pumped out for this so far? The Buzz Lightyear mod. I haven't put it on yet, and I really want to. But there's that, and then there's the lightsaber mod, and I cannot wait to just. My thing is with like Bethesda games, especially, it's like if I've played through a significant amount of the game, like Skyrim, for example. Skyrim is like a 120-hour plus game if you're doing the story alone.
Well, if you do the story, all the side quests, everything that game has to offer is massive.
Yeah.
Everyone knows at this point.
There's a lot to do in Skyrim. So like my thing is like every time I've booted up a new like run through of Skyrim, I'm just like, what mods can I put on this time? I'll dress as Batman and have Hyrule Castle as my base of operations.
I love the Thomas the Train Engine,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Toot of Doom!
My favorite is Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah! That's so glorious.
Some of the new Fallout 4 mods have been where all energy weapons sound like pew 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 the whole time you're firing.
Love that.
One of the earlier mods I saw was where, if you've ever watched Rick and Morty, the episode where I can't remember all the episode names or character names.
Please tell me it's the Screaming Sun.
I want that to come out. I really do want that, but it was one of the big head guys where it said, "Show me what you got." That was the moon. It looked perfect in the sky, just overhead watching down you. All of this was occasionally, "Show me what you've got."
You know what I thought of? I thought about the Screaming Sun with Xenoblade, which I'll talk about in a minute. But like in that game. Not to deviate from you, but in that game, like, you can like the sun rises and sets, and like I always think like the sunset, and you're just like just like screaming. You're like, oh god, what planet have we landed on?
Yeah, that's the Screaming Sun is something I wish I could just put on various games at random.
Oh my god, it'd be awesome.
But then from before we got Just Cause 3, which if you've never played a Just Cause game in your life,
my god,
get Just Cause 3 because the whole point of this game is to blow stuff up.
And to grapple things.
While blowing stuff up.
Yeah, it's glorious.
If it doesn't explode, it's not in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ride cows, you can attach thruster-powered explosive to a person's face and watch them go flying into the distance.
We just saw that, by the way. It's hilarious.
I mean, I've gone and grappled, two cars together, smashed them into each other. I've grappled a tank to a man and just smashed them together.
So awesome.
I've grappled onto a propane tank, shot it, and just took it out.
That was oh my god! I wish we had that on footage, because that was that was in 2, by the way. We're playing 2, and I was like, "What did you just shot one by mistake and it just flew off?" And I was like, "Dude, hit it, grapple onto it, and see what happens." And the game did not disappoint. It was as if the game was like, "Oh, okay, we're doing this," and just like rocketed you up into the air. It was awesome.
Yeah, now, so if you need a quick escape, like hop on, let's go, rocket up. So the game's definitely a lot of fun. There are a lot of hidden things in there. If you ever watch Nerdcube, he has a Easter egg in there because he did help some of the development in terms of testing. Yeah, there's Mjolnir.
Doge mode.
Oh god, that was just weird. Then there's the helium gun, which you can inflate people's heads.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the pogo stick.
The pogo stick? So
with the pogo stick is if you grapple someone to your pogo stick, you can actually bounce off their body while in the air and use the game momentum in air, so you can just pogo your way into the sky.
Oh, that's awesome. You can just pogo fly?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
that is
awesome.
The greatest mode of transportation ever.
Oh my god, that's glorious. You can't beat that. I'm sorry. I think that beats our propane tank.
Yeah, that is probably the best method of transportation.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
You've given your life in the service of Rico.
All right. Is that all you got?
Yeah, those have been my biggest things right now.
Manga-wise? Anime-wise?
For anime, One Punch Man.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
That is it's.
I hear it's so. I've seen an episode, but I gotta go back and actually start from episode 1.
It's one of those things where it takes a very basic concept of a superhero who can beat anyone in one punch, and this turns into a good comedy because he's bored of everything because he is so powerful.
His expression is just like whatever.
And he's
doing this now.
He looks so basic and like a generic background character that everyone's like, oh, he couldn't do it. And then he just beats everything in one punch. But
that's my name.
Yeah, my description just doesn't give it justice. It's definitely a funny anime if you're into that. So definitely check it out. Obviously, there's One Piece that's just ongoing for, what is it, 19 years now or so?
Oh my god, has it really?
17 to 19 years, yeah. It's a long
Wait, anime or manga and anime combined?
Just the anime itself.
Really?
The manga's been going on a bit longer.
Really?
Yeah, it's a long show.
I know that, but man, I didn't think that.
Yeah, it's...
Wow. 19 years?
No, it started in 95, so it may not... No, it's not 19 years yet, but it is close.
Okay.
Maybe 93. It's been more than 15 years.
Wow. My first experience with One Piece, it was the 4Kids dub.
Oh god, the 4Kids dub.
Yeah, I was experienced with the 4Kids dub. That was on, I believe it was on Toonami.
I saw it on
I think the
Fox.
Toonami got the 4Kids dub.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the 4Kids, so 4Kids was a children's TV thing on Fox for a while. It came from the Fox box, which came from Fox Kids. But 4Kids was so politically correct and, well, maybe not even politically correct.
Not even PC. They were just trying to make it kid-friendly. And anime
hurt.
in general is just not kid-friendly unless it's a kid-friendly anime.
And they're not even kid-friendly.
Yeah.
They have some weird jokes. But the what they took was the dubbing was awkward.
Yes.
If you've ever seen the Funimation dub, and you know how Sanji sounds like, and then even the Japanese, the 4Kids one, he sounded like he was talking like this almost. It almost sounded like this. And he had a lollipop instead of a cigarette. No one could die.
They made an entire scene. I remember this, and I've never seen it in the actual show, in the actual anime.
It was never there.
They made an actual scene where, Usopp's, talking to Zoro. He's like, oh, man, Sanji's gonna get mad at you for messing with his lollipops. And, Sanji's, hitting it on his sword, or not Sanji, Zoro. He's like, I wonder how strong this thing is. It's and you never saw that. It was just for the 4Kids dub. Not to mention, they took stuff out like guns and swords and smoking his 2 cigarettes and changing his name to Chaser.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's still producing smoke because that is his power.
Yeah, he has the smoke.
Otherwise, he'd be missing. Just scenes where oh man, we got stopped by blank, and just standing there awkwardly.
Yeah, his power is literally the smoke fruit. So it's okay, he's smoking, whatever, no big. Most parents' kids are smoke something.
Yeah, to have someone not smoking when they're normally smoke is a little awkward. It's nothing, trying to protect the kid.
Yeah.
If you're trying to keep them we don't want, support drug habits. I get that, but it feels like he's walking around smoking marijuana. I'd be let's tone that down.
It's not smoke weed every day. let's be honest, but it's not bad. I don't know. It's unrealistic. He's smoking 2 cigars at the same time. You did it in real life. You probably
choking to death.
Yeah, you'd have lung cancer the next day.
And then some other stuff they do with the 4Kids version. There are scenes where the fights are going on where they're bleeding.
Yeah, and there's no blood.
One of the arcs, the Alabasta arc, where Luffy has to fight Crocodile using his blood, was just canned suddenly. They got all of it and just stop because they couldn't show it.
Yeah.
They couldn't show blood, so he had no way of winning.
It was the absolute only way because there's no water.
And, if you follow the series, a lot of the stuff he develops on the Armored Hockey didn't have it yet.
Yeah.
So he had to punch him with blood.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked, and it wasn't, blood everywhere, gore, blood.
No, let's be honest. If any of you watch anime, it can get bloody.
Very bloody.
Very. And One Piece is probably one of the few animes that's people bleed, but it's not excessive.
But then the other reason they had to drop the show, once you got past that arc.
What was after Alabasta? It was
I want to say they just got Nico Robin, so it was kind of some side stuff. Then it would eventually get to Water 7.
Yeah, Water. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Water 7 was the one where
it starts getting really dark in very sudden ways.
Yeah, not to mention Frankie literally wears open Hawaiian shirt and the Speedo. Like,
and at one point they are talking about grabbing his balls.
Yes, Robin actually does that.
I think she enjoys it too much.
Those two are meant to be together. I ship that.
Anyways, but then they get on with like slavery and just.
Oh yeah, slavery on was it the Fishman slavery without the celestial dragons?
Not just fishmen, just everyone's slaves. Yeah. All this stuff. It gets to the point where we can't show this to children anymore.
Thriller Bark. They couldn't show Thriller Bark.
Yeah, there's just too many things they couldn't show anymore.
Yeah, I mean Brooke's character would just be like blank.
Yeah, he wouldn't exist, or he'd have all his skin, which would be weird.
Yeah.
I mean, dead for 70 years and you have your skin. What?
I don't know.
Then later arcs where Luffy gets a hole punch to his chest. Can't show that. Can't show the. Yeah, 4 kids.
Spoiler anyway. Not too big spoilers, but yeah, a little bit.
There's a lot of stuff that 4 kids takes out. If you ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a scene where in the original show, police had guns. The police, mind you, not like some random kid, not some criminal. The police. They edited out where they have the form of the gun in the hands ready to hold a gun. Stop, or we'll shoot you with our invisible guns. Thank you, little Karibo. Yeah, they have no guns suddenly. They just edit out weird stuff.
Oh god, I love.
And this is a problem with just dubbing in general. If you ever watch a show in the original Japanese language with the subtitles, a lot of the jokes can't translate properly.
Yeah.
There's one show I was watching. It's the Pakamatogari, I believe is what it's called. It's a very weird and it's definitely a show you have to think about. But there's one episode where they're just making jokes, but they're all only work in Japanese. They're talking about how the character for Bear and Snail they look almost alike, or they are alike, and there's certain things that I just have to remember.
Yeah.
Can't make that joke in English. I mean, yeah, Bear and Snail are alike. What? You're insane. What kind of bear are you talking about?
Exactly. It's a lot of things that don't translate well over. But
so what kind of games are you playing recently?
I've literally been playing. I've gotten back into Pokemon. I've been playing Alpha Sapphire again. I've been listening to the Dex podcast. Shout out to them. They're awesome. Go watch the Dex. I absolutely love Pokemon, by the way. It's my favorite game series. And they got me back into it, and I actually had to go back into Pokemon Bank because I had a box and a half of Froakies that most of them had Protean, which is its hidden ability, but some of them had Torrent. And I was like, I'm gonna get rid of these and see what Pokemon I can get from this, and I was just doing that. And now I've gotten back, well, not gotten back into it, but I've gotten to the point where I want to make a competitive team for my game. Excuse me. So I've been doing that. I got me a Whimsicott, a Trevenant, a Riolu, a Fletchling, and something else I can't remember right now. But I'm totally back into that. But the most recent thing I've been playing that I love and I've been talking about throughout this entire podcast is Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's amazing. It's by far the best looking Wii U game so far. It is gorgeous. They have free high quality packs you can download, but you need 15.3 gigs. Yeah. So I gotta go out and buy me a hard drive so I can plug that in my Wii U just so I can have that. But even without it, everything looks amazing. Every now and again I'll run up to a big enemy and I'm like, whoa, that doesn't look right, and then it loads and I'm like, okay, that's better. But it's fantastic looking. I love the combat. I feel like they really what's the word I'm looking for? What am I looking for? Between the first Xenoblade and this one, I feel like they improved the combat. I felt like in the first one, when I played it, it was I kind of get how to select attacks, but then certain attacks won't work because I have to do a thing. And I don't know. But this one, it's a lot more, that kind of exists still, but I think it's because, a certain meter isn't filled yet, and you have to wait till that meter is filled in order to use that attack, versus the first one, it was just kind of you can't use this because you can't right now.
Yeah, that's always an awkward feeling.
But the combat's really awesome. The world is amazing. There's so much to explore. I can't wait to explore all of it. The story's good too. I really like the story. And you know me, I love customization. So you can do that in this game. The one thing I cannot wait is to get one of those giant exoskeleton suits. The mechs, they're called skells in the game. Cannot wait. And it's like you can't get one like normally. Well, in the sense of normally, I mean you can't just like go out and buy one. You have to like get a license. So it's like it's legit real. Like, oh, you can't just go and get a skell even though you're a part of Blade, which is like the company, not the company, but like the organization that keeps everything in line. It's like, oh, you can't just like go out and buy a skell. You have to like get a legit like skell license. Like, and you can't. And the thing is, it's like you can't even like, oh, you're a certain level and get this. At least I don't know. But it's like you have to be like, I'm assuming a certain level, or you have to like do a certain amount of things, and then you'll get like the prompt to be like, hey, do you want to take the scale test? And you're like, yeah, sure. Why wouldn't I? I would love to ride around a giant mech and fight giant beasts. And there are giant beasts. Like, you get to a part where it's in the tutorial. It's like the first chapter or whatever. You get like a part in the tutorial where the person you're with who like gets you out of like this cryostasis pod, she's like, oh, we can go like this path, but if you want to jump down there, just, you know, be careful. There's, you know, monsters down there that are really strong. And I'm like, I wonder what's down there. And I look, and there's just like this giant, massive, like level 42 monster that there's no way I can fight. And it's like, I'm gonna take the safe path for now and just do that. But yeah, I haven't been playing a lot of it, but what I have played, it's like I love. I'm like right now I'm just doing like just like missions for people, just to like level up, get some money, get some exclusive stuff that I can't get through the store right now. But yeah, I'm loving that. Like I said, I got Terraria, so I've been playing that. Pokemon Picross. I've never played Picross before. Have you ever played something like that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Sudoku.
Okay. Yeah, I played Sudoku.
Yeah, so I've never played Sudoku. I've never played Picross games. And like I said, I love Pokemon. So I was like, I'll give it a try. It's free to start.
One of those microtransaction type
yeah,
games.
It's one of those. And you definitely need it. It's one of those things where it's like, I mean, you don't need it, but you need it. Because, like, the tutorial's like, here's like 30 like pick rights for completing this thing. You're like, oh sweet, I'm gonna get like a bunch of pick rights. I probably won't have to buy that much. No, like I completed one without the tutorial lady, professor, whatever, and it gave me like 6.
Oh, that sucks.
Not to mention, like, you have to upgrade things, like your gauge. You'll give a gauge of like how many moves you can do, and I upgraded it like to 300. And there was like, I think it was like 100 pick rights to do that. And then I couldn't go to the next stage, like the next area, because you needed 50 and I had less than 50. And it was like, there's no way I'm going to get 50 anytime soon. Yeah, I have to play this game for days. So I just was like, whatever, I'm going to buy some pick rights and whatever. That's definitely like a little annoying, but I think I just did it wrong.
Yeah, well, microtransactions in and of themselves are annoying, and that's something that definitely needs to be removed at some point.
I guess. I mean, it's one of those things where I like it when it's explicitly said. Like, it's free to start. It's not free to play. And I'm okay with that. But when it's a game that's like, oh yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, and microtransactions. It's like...
I love how you just kind of slid that in there.
Yeah, it's like, way to not tell me originally when I bought this. Thanks.
Yeah, and that's something that's popped up in Steam a lot, these games that require microtransactions. Thank you, mobile ports.
Yeah, whatever. But that's what I've been playing recently. I haven't really picked up. I want to get back into Super Mario Maker, but I'm like waiting for them to put DLC on there so I can stop messing around with all the assets I already have. I'm like, I'm ready for DLC, please. Can I have that Paper Mario skin that I want so desperately? No one has said that in anything I've ever heard of when they do like speculation. Like, it's always been like, oh, Super Mario Bros. 2, Doki Doki Panic. Yeah, I'm like, no one wants that.
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely one of those.
Like, I'd be happy to have like Shy Guys and stuff like that in there, but I want like stuff that wasn't like in that vein. Like, I want Paper Mario.
Some kind of off the wall stuff.
Yeah, but I want to get back into that though, because I love creating stuff. Anime wise, One Piece, I'm like 2 episodes behind, which is actually good because spoilers, it just got to where Luffy is fighting Doflamingo, I think, and I don't know what this last episode was about. More fighting?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I haven't watched any of it yet. I'm probably going to do that tonight, just so I can catch up. I want to watch One Punch Man. I've got like stuff on my radar that I want to watch. I'm like refusing to watch Kekai Sensen right now, because I'm like so mad that it's just one more episode, because that was great. What is it? Monster Girls, My Life with Monster Girls. I don't know if is that back yet with season 2?
No, not yet. It might be a few more months.
Okay, so I'm waiting for that, because that was awesome and hilarious. And yeah, if you've ever seen Monster Girls, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I don't know. That's about it right now. I'm just reading my webcomics. I gotta catch up on Snafu.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot there. But before we go, I'm going to share this in the video.
Oh, God, no.
So, there's a subreddit called Crappy Off-Brands.
They're awesome.
They show some very interesting products that, been mocking everything else. But in the spirit of Star Wars,
I love this face.
Episode 7, there are a few we're going to put up there. Some very bad action figures that came out around the time of Episode 1, starring Dennis.
I never even realized it said they talk. Oh my God.
I think these were taken out because, they're mocks.
Yeah, okay.
We got Dennis, we got Toby 1.
I mean, we have to give some... So Dennis is Darth Maul, and he has a weird purple staff lightsaber.
But he has such a boring face.
Yeah, he looks like...
They started with the Darth Maul mold.
And then they just kind of gave up and gave him, like, derp face. He's like... Oh.
And they didn't give him all the paint he needs.
Yeah.
And a green shirt.
Yeah. Not even.
Then Toby 1, guess who that is?
Yeah, it's Obi-Wan, if you could. And he also has a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, I think they just kind of ran out of
a weird position. Looks like he's like... He looks like he's cupping his hands together for like no reason at all. Like he's about to go prayers. I don't even know.
Well, it's a good thing his hands are a bit higher than his waist.
Yeah. Also off center of his like body.
Yeah, it's very awkwardly made. Plus the rat tail seems to be molded to his chest.
Yeah, that's not good.
So he can never turn his head. Then Emperor Daft Sirius.
It's Darth Sidious.
But
Daft Sirius though, like
it's like a bad ripoff of Daft Punk.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, and he's like unusually skinny too. It's like he's got like hourglass figure going on, I mean, and the what would
sleeves.
Yeah, his sleeves are gigantic.
Like you could hide someone in there and just walk off.
Yeah, not to mention you look closely, his eyes are just like pitch black. Like there's no pupil, and he's got a crazy like buff chin going on.
Then we've got Little Girl, who, believe it or not, is Anakin Skywalker as a child, which, let's be honest, he might as well have been a little girl because he whines so much.
Yeah. What is that with him? Is that like a backpack?
Yeah, it's a really oversized backpack.
It's so, like, the arms of the backpack are, like, ridiculously long. I'm assuming...
It's so you can, when you put on that figure, you can wrap it around his shoulders and never take it off again.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Then we've got Conehead.
I don't even know what this guy's name is.
But if you remember...
He's a Jedi Master.
Yeah, he's part of the Jedi Council. He's the one who has the very large forehead.
He's the guy with the cone head.
Yeah, so I mean, it's very accurate. Queen.
So this is This is not Princess. This is Padme Amidala as the Queen.
No, I don't think it's Padme. I think it might be...
No, it's Padme. It's literally like the image right there next to her. It's her.
But she comes up again later, because don't forget, in the movie, Keira Knight, person who played her...
I know, but she's pretending to be Queen Amidala.
So that could also just been, the person pretending to be the queen.
Either way, that was Amidala. No, was Padme pretending to be the queen.
No, she was the queen.
No, she wasn't. She's a senator.
She became a senator.
She was never the queen.
Yes, she was.
Are you sure?
Yes. She was the queen.
I'm pretty sure she was just pretending to be the queen.
No, she was pretending to not be the queen so they didn't kill her.
Oh, is that how that was?
Yeah, she was pretending to be someone
That movie
else.
was kind of vague, by the way.
It was mostly politics and no one cares.
Yeah, okay. So, Chris Pratt. I don't know what that means. Oh, never mind. Yeah, so this next one is Glorious Star-Lord.
And Star-Lord has a space and it's 2 words, but he has such a majestic spear staff of yellow.
who is this guy? If anyone knows, please comment.
I want to say it's Palpatine when he's not in the
he looks like Palpatine, but Palpatine doesn't have a staff. He has no weapon of any kind.
Or walking on a bright blue coat.
Yeah, when did he ever have a bright blue whatever thing? Okay, anyway.
Mace Windu.
Yeah. Also, this cape is amazing because it has no sleeves for his arms.
It just kind of eats. It's enveloping him.
And it's like hovering on top of him. Like he's using the Force to levitate the cloak on him. Just to be like, yeah, I'm the cool black guy.
But his face is not the cool black guy face.
No, it's like he's got like baby doll face for some reason.
He has too much forehead.
Yeah, that too. Also, he has a yellow lightsaber staff thing.
Upright slug.
This is the chief of the Gungans, and I don't even know what he's holding, but it's It is like
the worst key.
It is the worst mold I've ever seen. It looks like Play-Doh or something.
Then we've got R2-3PO. And give me 1 second. All right, we're back with R2-3PO.
Oh, so it's. I guess they're going for a combination of R2 and C-3PO, and he looks like a weird Terminator.
With veins and
a
heart that's oddly placed near his stomach.
Well, it's supposed to be that weird circular thing on his stomach, but
they painted it red.
It's red and up. It's not in the right place. It's not near his junk, robo junk or whatever.
I am R2-3PO. Human Terminator relations. Might as well be.
So this is the only one besides another individual that got right, and there's no reason for them to get this guy right. It's Jar Jar.
Jar Jar Binks.
And he's got a weird yellow staff thing.
But he looks correct.
Yeah.
He's wearing the right outfit. He's named right. So how did you get this one right?
I guess he's so bad they don't even need to make him any worse than he already is.
Then we got the pod race droid, which the first one of them is fine. It's a little
yellow. I think I now know what the second one is. I think he's actually one of the pod racers.
Ew.
Yeah, I was watching Peanut Butter Gamer and Space Hamster. Shout out to those guys. And they were playing on PB and Jeff. They were playing Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, which is one of my favorite games from the N64. And there's a pod racer that has 4 arms and this weird spindly body. And it just now hit me. I'm like, oh my god, he's not even a droid. He's an actual racer.
Yeah, this one was just really awkwardly
But
made.
I mean, they got one of them right. So half.
Then we've got Attack Robot, which is the regular droids.
It's the battle droids.
But he's going to be dual wielding 2 purple pistols.
Yeah, because that happened.
I mean, if they actually did that would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And just pulls out the gun, spins them, just opens fire. That droid has some earned points.
Yes, he has.
Then we got Padme.
Yeah, they got Padme right. I don't know how.
Well, they got the name right.
They got the name right. I'm not entirely sure what she's wearing. It's kind of close to something she wore, but I don't know what those purple things are.
And her face, though.
Yeah, her face is like bad Barbie doll face.
Like he got hit by a frying pan.
Yeah, like it melted a little bit. I'm totally naming this my next trap inch. That's this.
Fly-Gone Jinn.
I love this, and I hate it simultaneously. So this one kind of looks. He's got weird grump face. He's like,
He's balding too much.
he's got a little bit too much ball going on, but at least his arms are in a somewhat right position, if not on top of each other to hold his red lightsaber staff.
Yeah.
Now we have Naboo pilot, another correct one because he didn't have a name.
Yeah.
He was actually a Naboo pilot.
Yeah, if you remember from the Star Wars Episode 1, which if you don't, good for you. The guy who's following that very shiny ship off the planet in the beginning of the movie, that guy.
That's him.
They got a yellow blaster, which, aside from being bright yellow, looks like a blaster.
What is that? Looks like a weird toupee afro.
It's probably his helmet.
Okay.
Could be a toupee.
Yeah. Here, in the greatest one of them all.
What?
It's Watto.
But he has wings for accessories.
Yeah, he should just have those. He has wings.
And then, for some reason, his body is green and brown normally, but his face looks like he's been bathing in blood.
He looks like he spent too much time sunbathing with those reflector thingies, and he just kind of fell asleep and was like, oh geez, what happened?
Yeah,
it's he's modeled correctly for the most part, but the colors are wrong.
or the wrong place, or for the face.
No, it's not even like the right colors. He's like more of like a dark green all around.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of get away with the brown because in the next movie they made him a little browner.
Yeah, because he's older, whatever. But
yeah, he just looks.
He's just like weird. He's like even his face, which is kind of accurate, also is just like derpy.
Well, I mean,
most aliens, but like what? That's just it. It's what?
I don't even think they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they're just like, what is this? And they're like, let's call it that. What?
What? That's what we'll call it. What?
But yeah, we'll do like little Reddit thingies at the end to show you guys some ridiculous stuff that ends up coming up on there. But yeah, this podcast actually ran about the max time we would generally do this. So that's cool. I hope you guys stuck it out and listened to us ramble on. I know myself, I'm getting over a cold right now, so I've just been like chugging OJ like nobody's doing tomorrow.
Yeah, so again, this is Tech Ninja.
I'm Vandalus, and this has been Shogun Talk. Thanks for listening.